Hey everybody, welcome back to H4G. I'm Tony.
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Dan.
Man, I'm craving something today, tell you what. Perk me up a little bit.
Want some homebrew there?
Oh, I don't mind if I do have some homebrew, but what about a homebrew game?
Homebrew?
You do go on, sir.
Wait a minute, this homebrew game is about coffee.
Homebrew coffee?
Homebrew.
Homebrew.
Ah, we're sorry. So this is Coffee Crisis by Megacat Studios. Calling it a homebrew is a little bit of a misnomer because they are an indie developer, but we wanted to make our horrible pun.
You're gonna have to bear with us on that one.
It is what it is. Half of you have probably already abandoned the video by now. We did receive it for free, but that will not affect our overall score of the game.
Right.
We've actually yet to play it.
Right.
This is gonna be our very first impressions. This is gonna be kind of like an old school H4G review where we're reviewing it and simultaneously playing at the same time. It's kind of like a cross between a review and a let's play.
As an original Genesis hardware fanboy, getting to play a completely new game on an old cartridge on the original controller, you know, not as an emulator, you might forgive me if I'm drooling a little bit. I just love this idea so much.
There you go.
This guy's got my back.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
It does.
Gotcha,
Reverend
boo.
Bobby knows what's going on. And what jumps out at you right away is, my God, this just feels exactly like an original. This
Bringing
feels
back
like
all
something,
the feels.
Right, this feels like something you'd have bought in 1992.
Sure.
And right off the shelf at Kmart or, you know, Toys R Us.
Yeah, it's got
when
the
they-
tag right there
Yeah,
for the retail.
It's
I like
got,
it.
It's got the hanger tag. It's got the right plastic over the label. The label's printed in the right colors and with the right art. It's all just so appropriate.
Here comes a dog.
Hi, Milo.
Hey, buddy.
Are you ruining everything? Oh my God.
I love
the
me some
cartridge-
translucency.
It's translucent, guys.
This guy's very excited.
We had to film this carefully to hide my erection.
Yes, exactly.
He is hard for
I
that
am-
game.
Yeah,
I am
exactly.
really-
When it comes to like homebrew stuff like this, we're a little bit less used to it, so it kind of
Right, I'm sure
it's
there's a lot-
awe-inspiring for us, but a lot of you are probably very
Right.
familiar.
Because I'm a horrible casual, this is new to me.
Yeah.
So forgive me if I go a little overboard obsessing about how period correct this is, because it is. It just, everything about it feels so right.
I will say that when I received this,
Hello, Louie.
oh hey,
Hi, buddy.
the sticker was coming up a bit on this, so there are some like minor production
But
issues.
it was shipped in the mail, and
Yeah, but
whether-
you're how often does
Yeah.
that happen with a Genesis card?
The manual comes out of the case in that aggravatingly difficult Sega way. You probably
Yep.
saw me sitting there fiddling with it for like the last 30 seconds trying to
Get
get
out of
it.
here without ripping.
so
yeah,
that,
exactly.
that I could take it out without looking like I was completely daft. But then
it looks like a good manual.
the manual's great. It's printed on the right glossy paper. It's got all the right feel. The artwork is all very era appropriate. It's got all the little character introductions like they used to do. The sort of thing you just don't get anymore, and I
Yeah.
have a soft spot in my heart for.
It looks
The
good.
packaging gets our approval.
It's outstanding.
Let's go ahead and play the game
Right.
and
that.
see if it still gets our approval here.
Does the game match up to the image?
Yes,
Well,
exactly.
way to find out. So my love affair with the presentation just continues right on to the main menu, because again, it all feels so right.
He has a tinfoil hat. It's pretty
Oh,
good.
this
I love it. I love it
This
already.
is off to such a great start.
The evil Smurglian race has taken notice of Earth's World Wide Web and has begun stealing Wi-Fi. They have created their own version of the internet and hid it deep within the Earth's deep web, called the Smurnet. C is jump,
Yeah.
B is attack.
And A, you can pick stuff up.
Okay.
The animations are kind of great.
You're pretty quick moving around on the screen.
I mean, this looks really good. It does not look as good as a Streets of Rage or some of the other classic Genesis beat 'em ups. The colors I think, are a little bit...
It's simplified.
It's very simplified, but I do think the animations sort of make up for it.
I'd agree
because
with
the
that.
animations, even like these idle animations,
Yeah, it's just
her
the-
hair moves and...
Well, and they're surprisingly.
She's got a little boob jiggle too. Look at.
Oh yeah, well, forget
That's
everything I
thoughtful.
said about the presentation. It's great.
All
It's
is
good
forgiven.
stuff.
I give the presentation a C, if you know what I mean.
I'd give it 2.
Oh, mercy me.
I do declare.
I don't know how I feel about beating up an old lady.
I feel pretty good about it.
Yeah, it's okay. She's a 1-issue voter.
Oh,
Yeah, we're not going down that road. See,
I
all
miss
of a
my
sudden,
cow and I love my tractor. Fishing guns and nothing wrong. That's my country singing, everybody.
Now, we're talking about the presentation. What do you think about the sound? I feel like it's very, I feel like they were trying to be like grindy and almost like grungy.
yeah, it does. You know, and I will say that the background in this one makes a much better use of color than the first level did.
I was going to mention that, yeah.
I feel like they've stepped up their game on this level.
Maybe as you get further through the game, it just looks better and better.
Now, what about gameplay here? Now, when I was playing it, I felt like the characters moved too quickly. I feel like you're darting around.
What? Keep your caffeine. Oh.
Oh, drink. Chugga,
Chugga, chugga, lugga, chugga.
Tap up the roastery, then we won't have any coffee to sell. Let's go show these aliens what single source origin really means. While it can be a little hard to do fine detail movement, I appreciate the fact that it doesn't take you 3 days to walk across an empty screen.
It is hard to pick stuff up.
Yeah, it comes down to the fact that you move just a little too quickly for the proverbial hitbox for some of the items. Oh, so here's a cool thing. If you hold B, it charges up, and you get these even greater animations.
That's
It's-
awesome.
Look at that screen shake.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Oh my god, this is a real coffee crisis.
Ooh.
Look at these dogs.
Is that what that is? I mean, that's one heck of a coffee crisis.
What is
That's a
going on?
really good question.
French bulldog heads.
What's a French roast, guys? Come on.
Good. Yeah, I do like the humor in this game.
Okay, so
This
my
is
reservations about the colors have disappeared. In fact,
It's
if anything,
still-
maybe it's gone too far the other way.
I still think the colors are very basic. There's no shading. These are all like very flat colors. I think there's more colors.
There's a lot of them.
And I do think that it's cool looking. But I think at this point I've just sort of accepted that as its style. So, it's been a while since we played some of these classic Genesis 16-bit beat-em-ups, right?
1991.
So we figured we'd play a couple of them, starting with Golden Axe 2, just so we can kind of get the feel, so we can properly rate Coffee Crisis.
Right, compare it to a mainstream good game.
Exactly. And then after this, we're going to play Streets of Rage just for a little bit. And I know what you're wondering and what you're about to comment. Why aren't you playing Streets of Rage 2?
We're not
Because
cool.
I'm a horrible casual who owns the first one and not the second one.
So there you go. Enjoy your boobage in Golden Axe 2.
Titty bumpage.
The pubes are totally appropriately shaded. I will say the ability for your character to move different speeds, because you have your standard walking pace, and then you double tap and you can run. I like that feature because it helps, get across the screen when nothing's happening, or you can do move fast-based attacks.
You also have different levels here, right? I mean,
Right.
literally like a lower level and a
Elevation,
higher level.
yeah.
Elevations, yeah, it's probably a better word when you talk about games.
A lot of the animations here are really jagged by comparison
Yes.
to Coffee Crisis. That's one of the things that really that game puts this one to shame with, because like that throwing animation, it's a 2-framer, right? It's
Yes.
pick, throw, and it's not inconsistent with the time, but it's not exciting either.
Yeah,
It's-
well, with Coffee Crisis, I mean, you also have individuals that, to some extent, you have to be like, oh yeah, they had to relearn how to do Genesis titles, but people also know how to maximize the Genesis
Right.
at this point in time. They can get the
Right,
most
this came out in
bang for their
91.
buck,
We're in 2000, well, probably in, 2017?
So, fast forward 26 years, and here we are.
Yeah,
Dang, 26 years.
it's been a hot minute.
Get off my lawn, kids.
Ugh.
You know what? You're gonna get it. This game is in many ways, the golden standard for use of color. So, like, look at the background here. There's so much
the
color.
motion, the color.
There's a lot going on.
Look at the backgrounds. Look at the flashing lights, the color changes on the neon signs. It's breathtaking.
I just feel like Coffee Crisis, being a game made so many years later, could have done a little bit more with their backgrounds.
I like the hit too, like the little hit effect that you know you're hitting them.
Right, the little splash.
Yep.
Yeah, I think this is too slow. I like the speed a little bit better.
That's actually...
If there was a median between the two.
If you could split them. So in my remarks earlier about control speed, this is actually the game I was referencing, because this game is slow. I would consider Golden Axe to be deliberate. I consider this slow.
Let's go back and play Coffee Crisis just for a minute.
Right.
Let's compare.
Just to kind of
Let's do it.
feel it again.
Playing this back-to-back with Streets of Rage does make the simpleness of a lot of the coloration really inescapable. I think largely it's very consistent with the good games of the era. It's not a revolution over any of them.
Yeah.
It would have fared very well in the vein of those games at the time.
Yeah.
In keeping with the fact that this game really does excel at sticking to being a 1991 ortho-view beat-em-up.
So that was Coffee Crisis by Mega Cat Studios. What did we think in brief?
Fast gameplay, great story, had good comedic value. I liked that it was like that graphic novel, comic booky feel.
Sure. What did you think?
Right. I think it's a really faithful adaptation or homage to the greats of the early 90s. It does a lot of things very, very well, and then a lot of things about as well.
Okay. Yep. You know, I think if I were to give a numerical score to it, I would probably give the whole physicality, the packaging, you know, the insert in it, instruction manual, the whole thing, probably around like a 9. Like, I think it really faithfully reproduces it. Yeah. The actual game itself, I probably would give a 7.
Yeah, I would agree 7.
And so I think it would probably even out to around like an 8 out of 10, something like that. Still a very good score, I would say, but not a perfect game.
It's a very enjoyable early effort from a small independent studio.
Exactly. And, you know, if you're interested in this game as well, we're going to go ahead and put a link to Mega Cat Studios in the description below. And they have a bunch of other titles, actually a lot of like NES titles that they've been working on as well. You can get this title for $59.99
for the whole package.
For the whole package, or $39.99
for
just the card if you want to save a little bit of cash. But yeah,
money.
Let us know if you played any of their other games, what you think. In addition to just you know, if you've played any other
homebrew games in general.
Yeah,
right?
that have been released physically. Let us know. We're very interested in what to take a look at next.
If it's a new game on an old cartridge, we want to hear about it.
He's definitely pretty excited about this.
He's very hard for games.
Exactly.
I've been licking the case off screen.
No bittering added in that plastic.
Like a stamp, baby. That said, thank you so much for watching, everybody, and we will see you all next time.
Thanks.
Thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a like and a share, and we will see you guys next time.